What else have we got there? What have we got, people?
Something that couldn't be more more different. Marlon King, the Premiership footballer, Hull and Wigan player. I'm kind, you know, for once I'm kind of speechless. I don't really know what to say. Well, 18 months for punching a woman in a nightclub in the face because she wasn't interested in him. But then you go through his life and it's a litany of abuse. Not only is he, you know, aggressive, he's spat at people, he's been done for fraud, he's criminal damage. I mean, it's...
Receiving stolen cars,
receiving stolen goods, trying to pay for stuff with snide credit cards. It is astonishing it's taken this long for the guy...
Well, he's been inside before, I believe, hasn't he?
You know, back in, I think, 2002.
I think the best bit about the story is that he'll probably never play top-level football again.
It's interesting you say that, because one would hope that. But his agent's gone on the record yesterday as saying, let's be clear, people want to sign a goal scorer, so when he comes out,
when he comes out, he'll be over 30, won't he? God willing.
Yeah, it's just... It makes you wonder, when you have so much in life, you still behave like that. Talking about having so much in life... It's been an up-and-down week for Tony Blair. This is the front cover of The Guardian. Apparently, Blair's bid for the EU presidency is a bit in the dirt. Ironically, scuppered by the socialists.
Don't worry, kids, I'll explain the term to you another time. You don't need to remember anything about them.
What's emerged is it's also a bit like...
I want him to have the job now, because I worked out that if he did the job, he would lose so much of his other work that he'd be out about £7 million down.
Yeah. And no one's going to be checking his expenses.
OK, so tell you about... I want to rattle through him if we can.
So, you know, but it seems a kiss of death from Gordon Brown, who's just said to him, you know, I back you to the hilt. The Mail is talking about the unions threatening to up the ante with the postal strike. I mean, already... people are leaving the Royal Mail. Marks and Spencer's gone, Amazon's gone, eBay's gone, Argos is gone. I don't think they're going to...
the kids busy, though, doesn't it? Because it's children that seem to be handing out the post at the moment.
Is that right?
Around where I live, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It could just be Bob Job week around where you live.
Scab children.
Scab children. One wonders, you know what I mean? You know...
Don't worry, kids, I'll explain it later. It's an old-fashioned term. Strike is... Yeah. Back in the day.
When you were allowed... But it seems to me the Communications Workers Union are not stupid. They will, you know, they'll be aware of what they're letting themselves in for. The Times, oh, ridiculous. A parrot called Houdini has been given the green light to travel on buses, providing he's kept on the lead. That's right, Elizabeth. A parrot called Houdini has been given the green light. They were scared that if he wasn't on a lead, he might fly around the bus and...
They can be quite savage. The one we had on this show was savage. By the time we left, his handler was bleeding.
And this has got to be just the most... honestly, if it wasn't October, I think it was April the 1st. Tragic marker in the Daily Mirror. 2 American criminals who couldn't be bothered to get... They couldn't be bothered to get masks, so they decided to take, I promise you, marker pens. He's drawn a bat mask on himself, and the other one is drawn... Do you know what I mean? He looks like... I don't know. I mean, you know... It's like they're both going for work on Strictly Come Dancing. I mean, clearly that guy's drawn it on himself. What sort of mask is that? And then they wonder how the police found them. 2 guys, indelible marker.
Fantastic story. And finally, Gemma, what do you have for us?
Oh, right, OK. In The Sun today, start off with a not a very nice story. It's an alleged story. A girl of 8 years old has allegedly been raped by 2 10-year-old boys. Now, it says here, an 8-year-old girl has claimed she was raped by 2 boys aged 10. She was playing with the lads before the alleged broad daylight attack in a park during half-term. Now, my problem with this story is, I think it's awful, and if it's happened, it's awful, but, a girl aged 8 knowing about rape, in the first place, I find quite... But, I just... and boys aged 10, I just kind of want to move on from that one. I think we've said that.
The thing is that under the law, rape can be so many different things.
Well, it can.
That I'm just... it is presumably possible. Basically, some of the people that work on this show have told me things that they did when they were very young at primary school that made my mind boggle. And I'm just wondering whether they might have just been sort of confused
I just really don't know at that age if you can...
confused sexual exploration, which turned into
Which
something.
turns into something
I don't
like
know.
that.
I don't
and she
know.
was scared and probably felt... I don't know. I just don't know. But I just think that it's...
anyway.
obviously, until we hear more, that's just not very nice at all. Right, OK, in the Daily Telegraph here, we have... it's not a very nice story itself again. It's sperm donor passes ailment to 9 children. Sperm donors should be screened more rigorously, doctors say, after a man passed on a potentially fatal heart condition to 9 children, one of whom died. So one of the children, a boy born as a result of one of...
I mean, if the same person had conventional intercourse and produced children, they would have the same problem in real life. So I was trying to say that children that are born from sperm donors should be given perfect sperm.
Well, no, not necessarily, but I think that, you know,
But there is more control in sperm donation.
But
and where there's control,
should we be exercising that kind of... We should, right.
We're also talking about 22 children. You know, I mean, the average person doesn't have 22 children, so there's 22 children that are affected.
Don't look at me like that, Gemma.
I mean,
how do you know?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's just, I suppose it is my opinion, but...
It's off to Salt Lake City at the end of the show.
Right, and going on from children to more children, we have in The Sun today, Britain's oldest baby double act. Twins are easier at 71, apparently. Proud Richard Roden grins with delight after becoming Britain's oldest father of twins at 71.
You must be mad.
71. He's got a 25...
Interesting, though, isn't it? Don't you think the tone of the piece there, it's not the Daily Mail's traditional tone when it's an older woman that has children. Evil, terrible older woman ruins baby's life by having it.
If it was a woman, it's exactly my point, that I think it would have been a completely different story and put in a completely different way. But he's going to be 89 when these children are 18. I just find it...
And still working if Labour gets its way.
I just find it bizarre because these children are going to have only one parent within 20.
Well, lots of people only have one parent.
I mean,
no, I understand that, but out of choice, you know.
The kids already look shell-shocked in the photograph, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
OK, the last thing we have today is, in the Daily Telegraph, spiders. Now, I know, Matthew, you're very scared of spiders. I have suffered very badly. It says every home in Britain itself is home to at least 30 spiders, according to our first national record survey of insects. Now, that just scares me. I had a dead spider put in my hair when I was 12.
This is Elisabeth traumatised me, see, as a child. Was it Planet of the Spiders?
I had one on my back.
Yeah.
Yes.
OK, after the break, I think a very, very serious issue for you is homophobia on the rise amongst the young, or just a few rotten apples giving everyone else a bad name. Maybe attitudes have started to slip. We've become too casual when kids call everything they don't like gay. Is it not such a big step for them to reach the point where they then start beating up people who are gay? Don't know. What do you think? 0207 173 5555. That's the number for your views. All are welcome. Is homophobia on the rise amongst the young? Your thoughts on the other side of the break.
Gay is the most common term of abuse in British schools. Is this true or is it false? Find out after the ads.